What is going on, everyone? It's MarchJig8 here, bringing you guys a Monday recap, the events from last week. Let's get into it. Thanks to GamesCom last week, we got a number of new trailers, including one for Assassin's Creed Origins. We got a new Star Wars Battlefront 2 trailer showing off space combat. We got launch trailers for Life is Strange Before the Storm and Destiny 2. Be sure to check out all of those down below. Final Fantasy 15 got another update. Yeah, on top of the three that we talked about last week in the news flash, which if you guys want to check out those, it's basically they announced Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition, which is a 4K resolution PC port. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, which is a mobile game. The multiplayer content has been announced for this fall, and Episode Ignis is coming in December. But the new update is that Square Enix is once again teaming up with Ubisoft for another Assassin's Creed crossover. Now, mind you, I said another because there's a lot of people don't know this, but back in Final Fantasy 13-2, one of the characters named Noel actually got an Ezio outfit, if I'm not mistaken. But this time around, it's going to be a lot less subtle, because starting on August 31st, a new limited time event will be going on called Assassin's Festival, where players will be able to obtain exclusive items like Mojay's Assassin Robe for all characters. Along with that, there will also be an event that involves elements of Assassin's Creed gameplay and mini-games. In all, it looks pretty awesome. And it makes me wonder if Assassin's Creed actually takes place in the same universe as Final Fantasy 15. Check out the trailer below if you guys are interested. The Xbox One has officially gone up for pre-orders, along with the announcement of a limited Project Scorpio edition. This edition is basically identical to the standard Xbox One X in terms of specs, features, and even price, but what it does have is some aesthetic differences, such as Project Scorpio logo being imprinted on the console and controller in the Xbox neon green color, and the console having a dynamic graphic pattern. If you guys are interested in that, I'll leave it in the description below for you guys to check it out. Blizzard has made a number of announcements for Overwatch last week, including it getting not only one, but two shorts, one being Junkertown, The Plan, and the other is Rise and Shine. They also introduced a new Escort Map called Junkertown, which went along with the video. We got updates for changes that are coming for Season 6 of competitive play, which, before I forget, congratulations to Neon Kitty for getting to GM. And we also got updates for changes to both My Girl Mercy and Diva. Check out all of those down below. Universal and Frontier Development, the developers of games like Planet Coaster, has announced Jurassic World Evolutions, which is a park simulator game that features dinosaurs and allows players to build and manage their own Jurassic World. It's set to release sometime next summer on consoles and PC, so if you guys are interested in that, I'll leave the announcement trailer down below for you. For all the fans of the music news, you need not fear, for I have tons of it to share with you today. Linkin Park has announced they are planning a special public event in Los Angeles in honor of their late singer Chester Bennington. Details on that have yet to be released, but they should be coming out soon, so I'll keep you guys posted on it. Brand New has released their first studio album in like 8 years, titled Science Fiction, last week, completely unannounced and to the surprise of everyone. So much so that the record is projected to top the charts and sell around 55,000 records within the first week. Taylor Swift has announced her new album Reputation, which allow me to venture off course for a second and say that the marketing here was just simplistic genius. Not even a week after the court case with David Mueller, that was being heavily documented by media outlets, came to a close, with Taylor on all accounts being on top, she then starts teasing something new, firing up the media all over again, and then just drops that she's releasing a new album called Reputation. It's just insane how well that all came together, and how that $1 that was awarded to her seems more like a joke now at Mueller, who unknowingly gave her all this hype she needed for the new album. Unless, a phone call gets leaked where Swift tells Mueller that if he takes his case to court against her to build up media attention, she'll give him substantial amounts of money. Now, to be clear, I'm absolutely joking about that and how well this all came together when I say that. Anyways, the album is set to be released on November 10th, and she's also released her first single off it called Look What You Made Me Do, which hit like 10 million views within the first day. Anyways, check out that in the new music section down below. Swift, look what you made me do, girl. Look what you made me do. Alright, allow me to venture a little bit off course here. Actually, we're going very off the course. We're taking a complete 360 and jumping right into the fucking woods. There was another story about Taylor Swift that cropped up right as soon as I finished this script, and it was too big for me to pass up. And this is regarding her partnership with Ticketmaster, and let me tell you, that the marketing here is shady as fuck. I applaud alternative press and Jezebel for actually running these stories, calling this shit out, because it needs to be told. So, the Better Online Ticket Sales Act, which may sound familiar to some of you because it's something we've talked about before. It was the law that was passed last year to help put an end to scalpers using bots to purchase large quantities of tickets to then sell out retailers and then resell those tickets on the internet at an inflated price. Well, one of the ways that Ticketmaster came up with a way to abide by these new rules was creating Verified Fan Program, which requires ticket buyers to register on Ticketmaster, and then they're sent a code when the tickets go on sale. Both Paramore and 21 Pilots have used this, with Paramore sending out codes to everyone who had pre-registered, making essentially a first-come, first-served situation. And 21 Pilots, in order to accommodate for the smaller venues they were playing at, picked recipients at random. Now, I'm not really a big old fan of that, but I understand that seeing as they were smaller venues, it still is fair. Everyone has an equal chance of being picked. Now, Taylor Swift and Ticketmaster, however, took things to another level when they announced Taylor Swift Tix. And as Alternative tells it, it is not a good level to be at. Her Verified Fan Program has a boost activities twist added to it. Now, the way that it works is simple. Instead of either sending out ticket codes to everyone who pre-registered or pick recipients to receive codes at random, that way it's fair to the fans, they chose to use a place in the line system where you can improve your standings by a number of boost activities that includes things like posting about the new album on social media and joining Swift's mailing list. Then you have the high boost activities, which you can gain from purchasing Swift merch, including the official Reputation merchandise, which also includes a gold snake ring that was like around $60. It also includes purchasing the new album 13 times a day from 13 different retailers. And here's the kicker. None of this ever guarantees you a ticket code, because it's mentioned that someone standing in the waiting list / priority may change as more fans join and participate in this activity. I wanted to mention this particularly to the Swifties who didn't seem to understand this when they were arguing with me that they didn't need to buy anything to boost themselves in a list. Some of them even made it all the way to priority. And to be fair, they are absolutely right. You can boost yourself up on the list without buying anything. But just because you can do that, just because you can use those boost activities and even get to priority, that does not guarantee you a spot on the list, and it does not guarantee you a pre-sale code. You are still at the mercy of the line. And if all you're doing is the boost activities while you have tons and tons of people who are going out and buying the album and buying her merch and then turning around and using this to rank up, you are going to start dropping on that list. They're essentially telling you that if you don't buy shit from her, your chances of getting those pre-sale codes is a lot lower than somebody who did. And as more people join in, those chances are going to drop even more. Now, I'm just going to warn you guys now because I'm about to rant because this shit pisses me off. Even if you did buy the album and the merch, or, just either one of them, you are still at the mercy of the line. If they sell out before they get to your name, you are shit out of luck. We are literally going down the same fucking route which we just came out of, where people aren't getting equal opportunity to buy the pre-sale tickets. Only now we have to go through even more hoops and hurdles and shell out even more money in hopes of getting a fucking chance to buy the pre-sale tickets. I mean, at least with the scalpers, I threw down a couple extra $100 for them, and at least I got a fucking ticket. What an absolute joke. What a shitty thing to do to your fans, and then to try and sit there and claim that's the best way to beat scalper bots. Here's the thing, though. It's not the fans' responsibility to make sure that bots aren't buying out the tickets. Under the BOTS Act of 2016, it is illegal for online retailers to allow ticket bots to purchase their tickets anymore. So Ticketmaster had to come up with a new system. The system they came up with was the Verified Fan. It isn't perfect, but it does work for the most part. So you're a greedy-ass motherfucker when you're making a stupid-ass cartoon, which, let me remind you, is based off a video game. I hope you had permission for that. Telling your fans, most of whom are kids, that the best way for them to beat the bots is to go out to the website that then tells them to buy your album 13 fucking times a day, or go buy a $45 t-shirt in order to, or some other form of overpriced garbage for them to even get a chance to get a fucking ticket code to spend even more money on. I mean, I'm fine with those who pay more to get better seats. That's not a problem with me. You pay more, you get a better experience. That's just the way it works. But when you're going out of your way to incentivize your fans, a large majority of them being fucking kids, and without the means or incomes to boost their standings, to give you free publicity or artificially inflate your album sales on an album you already know is going to sell well, I'm starting to think you really are a fucking snake. Put a sorting hat in your head and it throws your ass right into Slytherin. But turning this to my audience now, what do you guys think about this? The thing that worries me the most about this particular thing is it becoming a trend. That is going to be bad news if that's what we start seeing, is, you know, other bands start incorporating where people have to battle it out with each other over who buys more merch. And that's a fucking nightmare, because that is super anti-consumer. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. You know, if you agree with this, I would love to hear how you justify it. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. I really would love to hear how you would justify it. Now, I do want to say one last thing before we move on to the next story, and that is I do not put all of the blame on Taylor Swift's party here. It was a partnership between her and Ticketmaster, so they are both sharing the blame here. Now, if you guys were to ask me who I thought was a driving force, the culprit who brought this idea to the table, I would probably point to Ticketmaster, and that's because, you know, I've had some thoughts in my head that maybe they might be involved with the whole online bots thing. Now, I have no proof to back that up, but with them agreeing to this, it makes me start wondering things. The reason that Taylor Swift's party pisses me off so much with this whole thing is the fact that she agreed to something like this. Agreed to put her fans through something like this. What this is essentially doing is prioritizing people who buy more, who have more money to buy merch, buy albums and stuff like that, while at the same time just flicking off the people who can only probably afford the ticket price of general admission to her concert. And that pisses me off. That's not something you do to your fucking fans. But like I said, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. Let's move on to the next story. Adrenaline Mob's tour manager, Janet Rains, who has been in the burn unit after a tragic accident involving a tractor trailer slamming into the band's RV, has sadly passed away after being taken off life support. Very sad story. My thoughts, of course, go to the family and friends. If you guys would like to learn more, I will leave links in the description for you guys to check that out. Angels and Airwaves actually released an acoustic EP last week titled We Don't Need to Whisper Acoustic EP that has been dedicated to producer Jeff Critter Noel, who passed away back in 2012. They also released a lyric video for the acoustic rendition of The Adventure, which you guys can find down below in the new music section. We Came as Romans has announced they'll be releasing a new album this October. Hopefully we'll be getting a new song from them soon. Emarosa has announced they'll be releasing 131 Reimagined on September 15th. Morrissey has announced he'll be releasing his new album, Low in High School, on November 17th. Evanescence guitarist Jen Morja has announced she is working on her second solo album titled Insanity. She's hoping to release that by early 2018. GWAR has announced their new album, The Blood of Gods, which is set to be released on October 23rd through Metal Blade Records. They've also released the first song off the album titled Fuck This Place, which of course can be found in the new music section down below. Trivium has announced their new album, The Sin and the Sentence, that is set to be released on October 20th through Roadrunner Records. They've also released another song off it called The Heart From Your Hate, which can be found below in the new music video section. The Black Dahlia Murder has announced their new album, Nightbringer, along with the release of their title track. The album is set to release on October 6th through Metal Blade Records. They've announced that in support of this new album, they are also heading on a new tour with support from Exhumed, Suffocation, Decrepit Birth, Necrot, and Wormwitch. If you guys are interested in the dates for that, they have been released. You can check those down below, along with the details for the new album and the title track, which can be found in the new music video section. Say Anything has announced their In Defense anniversary tour, and let me tell you guys right now, it is quite the tour. Instead of them just playing one album like a usual anniversary tour, no, instead they'll actually be playing 3 of them. You have In Defense, Is a Real Boy, and Self-Titled in the course of 2 nights with 19 cities lined up. Dates release and support announcements should be coming soon. All Time Low has announced they'll be playing a show on December 19th at New Jersey in the Starland Ballroom in celebration of the 10th anniversary of their album So Wrong It's Right, where they'll be playing it in its entirety. The Used has announced that they are heading on a new U.S. tour this fall with support from Glassjaw. Dates released. Hatebreed has announced the 20 Years of Desire / 15 Years of Perseverance, which is an anniversary tour for 2 of their albums. It's the 20th anniversary of Satisfaction is the Death of Desire, and it's the 15th anniversary for Perseverance. The band will not only be playing a majority of the songs from both albums, but they'll also be playing fan favorites as well. Support will be announced for that soon, and dates have been released. And as always, if you bastards are interested in checking out the dates mentioned above, you can find them all down below in the description. Let's move on to the new music of the week. We have Paris, Jesus Christ, that's a brand new cover, 30 Seconds to Mars, Walk on Water, and Chewing Glass, Taylor Swift, Look What You Made Me Do, Angels and Airwaves, The Adventure, Acoustic, GWAR, Fuck This Place, William Patrick Corgan, aka Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins, Aeronaut, and Wolves in the Throne Room, and Angerboda. And for new music videos, we have Foo Fighters, The Sky is a Neighborhood, Good Charlotte, War, Paris, Anyone Else, The Fever, which is a new project featuring, I think, members of The Chariot and Let Live, We're Coming In, The Killers, Run for Cover, Katy Perry, Swish Swish, Ghost, He Is, Trivium, The Heart from Your Hate, The Black Dahlia Murder, Nightbringers, I Prevail, Lifelines, Kubla Khan, Belligerent, Jasta, The Same Flame, The Front Bottom, Raining, The Haxons, which is a new project featuring Ash Costello of New Year's Day, and Matt Montgomery, Lights Out, and The Marmosets, Play. Be sure to check out all of those if you guys are interested. I'll be all down below in the description. Thank you all for joining me for this episode. Leave a like if you think I earned it. Dislike if I didn't. Subscribe if you want more, and I will see you all in the next one. Mars out.